Romania holds one of the planet's most valuable natural treasures. A vast wilderness of towering mountain peaks and pristine forests that provide a habitat for thousands of species of flora and fauna. As we've seen in previous episodes of Wild Carpathia, this priceless ecosystem is under threat from man, but still remains probably the most unspoilt region in Europe. In this, the final part in our trilogy, we'll be travelling north from Transylvania to explore the historic Maramures, a landscape rich in culture, where the old ways are jealously guarded and medieval traditions coexist alongside modern life. We'll experience more of the country's stunning national parks, take a steam ride through the mountains and pay a visit to Bucovina's inspirational painted monasteries, which serve as a canvas for some of the finest examples of religious art in the world. On the way, we'll be looking at how culture, adventure and ecotourism could provide an alternative solution to stem the flow of illegal wood that pours out of Romania and offer a more stable and long-term income for its rural populations. While existence is tough here, with baking hot summers and Siberian winters, the people of the Maramures have a decidedly upbeat attitude to life and its cessation.
Eu astăzi sunt fericit că sunteți pe grădina strămoșilor mei. Aici, încă cenușa vieții e aici, cenușa lor e aici. Eu viu cu horea asta și vi aduc.
Măi, trandafiri, din la Moldova te-aș iubi, dar nu știu vorba.
Hei, hei, hei!
Măi, trandafiri, din la Moldova te-aș iubi, dar nu știu vorba. Lunca-i luncă, iarba-i verde, ce-am iubit nu se mai vede. Ce-a fost verde s-a uscat, măi, ce-am iubit s-a scuturat, măi. Lunca-i luncă, iarba-i verde, ce-am iubit nu se mai vede. Ce-a fost verde s-a uscat, măi, Charlie. Ce-am iubit s-a scuturat, măi.
For our final musical destination, the Maramures, we deferred to famous local band Isa and Grigore for what soon became a typical Romanian knees-up, and one that lasted well into the next day. Romania is facing a crossroads. Its two greatest natural treasures, its forest and its medieval landscapes, are in danger of being lost due to uncensored modernization and illegal logging. Huge tracts of land have already been destroyed by the reckless greed of those prepared to sacrifice their legacy for financial gain. The extent of this problem can be clearly seen in and around the Făgăraș Mountains. But it's not too late. There are those who are working tirelessly to save this crucial ecosystem. It's great to see chainsaws being used constructively for once. This is part of an FCC initiative with the help of the EU to repair the damage caused by logging tracks that crisscross these mountainsides. What happens is very rapidly, due to soil erosion, they turn into trenches and then ravines. So the idea here is to cut up all the dead wood that's left lying about and to fill them in, to cover them over with earth and then to replant. So in 30 or 40 years' time, you won't even know they've ever been here.
Ensuring the safety of wild Carpathia is not just down to its present-day inhabitants. The best way to guarantee its survival is through environmental education. Sadly, something that is currently a low priority on many school agendas. To combat this problem, an international charity is launching a fleet of purpose-built battle buses to tour remote areas of the country and teach children the importance of biodiversity and ecological issues. It's encouraging to see so much positive change taking place in areas like these. There is hope, and many high-profile figures are now lending their support to champion the need for conservation. Not just of the forests, but also the historic villages and pastoral setting that surrounds them.
Your Royal Highness, how can we preserve this wonderful landscape?
Well, I mean, it is a challenge, I think, in today's world. I mean, part of the real effort, I think, is in trying to persuade people just how precious it is. So it's how do you provide protection and sensitive development? Because the key, obviously, you can't stop everything, but is to work, I've always felt anyway, if one can, to work with local people who 9 times out of 10 all around the world don't want to see their environment destroyed. But they want to find ways of ensuring that their lives can be improved and they have better opportunities, but within a living tradition, whether it's the built environment or the management of the landscape. The terrible problem I've always felt is that people so often go through a phase of, oh, well, none of this, it's all old-fashioned and out of date, doesn't matter, irrelevant, it's old things, chuck them all away. But later on, people suddenly realize the value of all this, by which time, if you're not careful, it's too late, because you've knocked so many things down or allowed all sorts of insensitive development. And clearly there's huge demand for food and everything else, but it does seem to me that one of the most vital aspects of all this is how you work with local communities, how to help ensure the survival, the future of the smallholder. This part of the world, it's not, you can't plough it up. And if you did, you'd release vast amounts of carbon, which is completely counterproductive. The meadows are, in European and global terms, utterly unique. I have never seen anything like it. There's nothing left like this. And this is a jewel in Romania's crown. It may be difficult for people to see this now, but I think Romania is a wonderful country. They are remarkable people. They're so resilient, and Romanians have had such a horrific experience throughout their lives. And so many people, when you think of 2 world wars and then all the other horrors between the last war and until now, people have been through so much, seen so much misery and destruction, and their lives have been ruined in so many ways. And I think we owe it to them to try and find a way to ensure that the future is better for them, but in a way that enhances the culture and the traditions and the values. But unless you have the quality maintained, that integrity which attracts people because of the beauty, and how to raise the standards of accommodation and everything else on offer, it's going to be very difficult, it seems to me, for so many of these places to survive.
You were personally involved in the restoration of the house here in Zalampatak.
Absolutely. I was very lucky because I found wonderful people who knew what they were doing, and it also helped train local people in all these skills. In fact, they're innate still, these remarkable skills that people have. I just want people to understand what you can do to these houses to make them suitable for modern living. But, you can have the best of the ancient and the best of the modern. These are such special things, and we need biodiversity and human and cultural diversity. The danger of, I think, massive globalization is that before we know where we are, we've lost our identity and our meaning. And that's a dangerous moment, I think.